Baltimore, Baltimore. Good evening, Baltimore. This is Changing Baltimore, episode 13. I'm your host, Harry Gray.
This is co-host, Coach Said.
And we're brought to you by Moe's Seafood, Pulaski Highway, Tone Drone LLC, and Brainstream Media. We are glad to have each and every one of you guys tuning in this evening for us. We have a pretty good show coming up today. Some exciting things that happened over the weekend. Opening week of high school football. They did that thing this week in high school football with the high school kickoff classic at Poly. So we're going to talk about that, along with the announced Changing Baltimore's Coach of the Week and Player of the Week for Week 1. We also have a special guest coming to you this evening. She's pretty much, I call her Baltimore. She's running for the 4th District, and she's going to come and share her vision with you. One of the things we wanted to start off with was, support. How much are you really supported in your life with all your endeavors and everything that you do? I was just talking to Coach Said and asking him the same question. Are you supported in the things that you do? That's a question for each and every one of us. You can, call in 410-417-7067 and share, what you feel that, if you're supported or you're not supported. I have many friends, and I know with this endeavor that we're trying to do and change Baltimore and bring light to a lot of things. Sometimes I feel supported, but in a lot of ways, people just want to see things when they get up and running. They don't want to be part of the process. They don't want to be, on a ground level. Once you get to the top, then that's when everybody wants to kind of, join in.
I think, and then sometimes, some people look for small things to kind of magnify, their dislike when it's time to kind of like help you out or support you in whatever your endeavor is. It's like, they find the small things, the real minute things to kind of like not support you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I mean, in this coaching thing, I got 30 years in, and I've had support from my family, man. And, I've been doing it a long time. And my son was basically born with a football in his hand. Because actually, the day he was born, I coached the Baltimore Touchdown Club All-Star game on the same day he was born. And then the second year when he turned 1, I was coaching in the All-Star game that same day, and so he was basically born with the football in his hand. So, but I've had a lot of support from family.
Yeah, and again, I know there's been a lot of football players that I have or had, in the past, baseball players that have had, business ventures, doing things. I think they're doing very, very well. And I try to do everything in my power to support them, whether it's to mention it on Facebook, whether it's to get other people to support them. Since this show has been going on, I've been kind of mentioning things. But I don't think people actually kind of get it, how important it is to support someone that's trying to do the right thing. And we're coming up on a stage in Baltimore where in the next year and 2 months, we're going to be picking new people in the power of Baltimore for the next 4 years. Whether it's city council members, whether it's delegates, your mayor, possibly city council president. We got to get behind somebody. We got to start supporting something. Because as of right now, it seems like we're not supporting the right things. We're not supporting change. And in order for us to get better, we have to adapt to change, but we got to rally behind somebody. I spoke to someone, got a phone call actually Sunday, And this gentleman, told me, he said, Coach, don't mention my name yet, but I'm going to throw my hat in the arena to become mayor of Baltimore. He said, hey, I got a team behind me. He said, Coach, we're going to make change in Baltimore. We feel that we can win this thing, and if you really support us, you support and you love Baltimore, this is the winning team. You need to kind of get on the bandwagon and let's ride this thing out for Baltimore. He's going to probably be on the show in the next week and a half to 2 weeks. Again, he's ready for change. He sees what we've been doing for the last 4 years, actually even longer, and that's why Ms. Winder's actually on today to talk about some of those exact changes that we need in Baltimore. When we talk about this show, the title Changing Baltimore, yes, we're trying to change it in the role of football, athletics, schooling, but also bringing entrepreneurs, onto the show. Anybody that supports positiveness in Baltimore City. So again, we're reaching out to each and every one of you guys that listen to the show, watch the show, that know us, rally behind us. I think we're the winning team. We're the winning team right now. And I think anybody that has a podcast, a Facebook Live show, doing anything on Instagram that's positive, we need to start rallying behind that.
Absolutely.
We can't say, hey, don't listen to this person or don't do this because I may not like this or that. If it's positive and it's about doing what's best for Baltimore City, we need to kind of get behind it. And again, I'm trying my best to support everybody, that is going to make that change in Baltimore, because it's getting kind of scary out here, and we're not going to really sit back and kind of hover over the murder rates in Baltimore. But, there's a statistic that I was looking at, I believe it was last night, and we're almost over 3,000 murders in the 2000s. I think we're at 2,991. And a lot of them are African-American men. A lot of them are, our children that we are losing. So, we have to make a change. We have to do something positive in Baltimore.
Absolutely. Well, I totally agree. I think that, we got to make the change. I just don't know, or I don't think that we know the changes that has to be made. Now, I just heard on the radio they coming up with, actually it was this morning, where they was talking about a new plan to protect the citizens of Baltimore with a new plan with the helicopter flying over. And I don't know the extent of it, but I know it's up in the millions of dollars, where the governor, instead of him telling the mayor, he wrote him a letter. And that was astounding to me. But we need change, man. I just don't think that we know what the changes are. I mean, I think we kind of got a clue, but we just don't know, man. We don't know where to start. That's what it seems like to me.
Yep. So before we take our first break, I want to have 2 questions of the day for us. 1, do you feel you are supported in your endeavors? And 2, are you really truly happy with the politicians and the powers that be in Baltimore City? You could give us your comments, your suggestions, your anger, whatever it is. You could give us a call at 410-417-7067, and we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with segment 1 with Miss Angie Winder.
Coach Corey Johnson.
Coach Lawrence Smith.
Players, your parents to get maximum exposure.
When it comes to any of my video footage, you only go to one person.
Brainstream Media.
Shout out to Brainstream Media. Shout out to Brainstream Media for doing my film.
Brainstream Media.
Shout out to Brainstream Media.
My name is Justin Leach. We're going to Frostburg State University for football. Team Brainstream.
Shout out to Brainstream Media. Best film in the state.
DeWitt Doss, Emerson Westside High School, Athletic Director with Team Brainstream.
Hey, this is Head Coach Julio, Head Coach at Forest Park High School. We Team Brainstream, man. Thanks a lot, Brainstream.
Shout out to Brainstream Media for giving kids the opportunity to get themselves exposed to college.
Hey, Brainstream Media, man. The best videographer in the area, man. You want sharp, HD quality, good quality, holler at Brainstream Media, baby. They the best. Baltimore City football.
Welcome back, Baltimore. Welcome back. Segment 1, Changing Baltimore, episode 13. Sponsored by Tone Drone LLC, Brainstream Media, and Moe's Famous Seafood on Pulaski Highway. We want to introduce you definitely to a person that epitomizes what we're trying to do, which is change Baltimore. She's a Mervo graduate.
Uh-oh.
And I know people probably looking at the show like, oh, there's somebody else from Mervo. But the Mustangs are doing great things. You know, so I guess everybody else has to kind of step up a little bit. But, you know, I've known Miss Winder for a couple of years now, and I've been, you know, definitely following everything that she's trying to do and what she's about. So, without further ado, Miss Angie Winder, hello.
Hello, Miss Winder.
Thank you for having me on the show today.
Thank you for coming. You know, I've been trying to get you on here for a couple of months now.
Yes. You caught me and was like, okay, give me a date. How about the 11th? Yes, okay.
Yeah. And I also wanted to mention Miss Winder also has our own show that's also on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about that.
Every Tuesday, I have my podcast is Radio on Fire. I'm sorry, it's on the Radio on Fire broadcast, but it's Restoring the Village, and we do it every Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Tune in, guys. Like I said, you know, we're here to support everybody that's going to bring change and positiveness to the city of Baltimore. So let's get into it, Miss Winder. Let's get into it. Tell us about Angie Winder and why you're so passionate about Baltimore.
Of course, Baltimore native. I love the city. I love all that is entailed in it. I know that we can do a lot better in some of the things we're doing. Leaving is not an option. So it's basically what do you want to do to make a difference? And I have done everything from being involved in the school systems. Every school my child has touched, I was there, either PTA president, which I was PTA president at Mervo, I'm on the alumni board, so just anything that we can make sure that our youth are we're continuing to invest in our youth because it makes a difference. On top of that, organizations that can help our community. So my organization is Restoring the Village, and that's basically in itself, we take the word village as an action, and we need to make sure that we all play a part in that. So like I said, just being born and raised and having people that instilled in me, it's kind of just been something out of nature to do.
So, we have a lot of women now in Baltimore that's doing a lot of positive things, which is outstanding. If you have any questions for Ms. Winder while she's here, please call in 410-417-7067. Again, a lot of positive things is going on with you, Ms. Winder. I love your campaign and what you're trying to do, with the 4th District. Have you always been so inspired to be in politics? Or is this something that one day you just woke up and say, hey, I'm upset about what's going on in Baltimore. I want to do something about it?
Oh my gosh, I think that that woke me up and just said, hey, I'm just tired of it. Let me just make it very clear. I never thought I would be getting into politics. But it has been something that I know that it involves all of us, whether we want to be involved or not, whether we vote or not, even though I encourage everybody to. But no matter if you vote or not, the policies, the bills that's passed, it affects all of us. Last year I ran for the State Central Committee. It's just a way to encourage people to get out and vote. And basically I won. So that really just popped up in my head. As far as when I was engaging with the community, I saw not only did they not know what the Central Committee was, but they also didn't even know I don't even kind of down it, but they didn't know the basics of who was that council person. Right. And these were people that lived there for years, so it made me just get more involved on that part of it, but also knowing that, a lot of their engagement helps with their resources that come in their community, so we got to make sure they're educated.
Got you. And I think that's one of the major issues in a lot of our neighborhoods where people are not educated to actually know what platform people are running or what's really going on in their neighborhoods. And we definitely need someone to be able to let them know, hey, this is what's going on.
I will also say, not so much saying they're not educated, but the interest is not there for many reasons. And I'll give you just one example. The interest is not there because the people that they put in place is not doing what they say they're going to do. So the trust is not there. The results are not there. So in their mind is like, why am I going to vote? You tell me what you want me to do, what you're going to do, and then when you get elected, we don't see you again. Right. So it's many reasons. I just won't say the educated part.
and you're absolutely correct, and thank you for kind of correcting me.
No, they correct me.
When you talk to people in reference to voting,
yes,
a lot of them say, man, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
My vote doesn't pull weight. Mm-hmm. And I think we kind of seen where you don't vote, mm-hmm. or you're not engaged in what's going on. We got 4 years of what's going on in the White House. Mm-hmm. And then once it gets here,
and if we don't do it, we're gonna have another 4 years.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it really gets to me because, like you just said, you have politicians that saying, "Hey, mm-hmm. We're here for you." They do the campaign, and we don't see them once they get elected in. Mm-hmm. Say it.
Well, first of all, where's District 4?
Oh, good question. So that's pretty much your North Baltimore. I would say York Road, Northern Parkway, Lock Raven area. Mm-hmm. It kind of goes down to where it heads to Greenmount, but it's still York Road leading up to about 39th Street. Mm. So it's pretty diverse district.
Yes, it is.
And pretty large. And it goes up to the county line, York Road. So once you cross over Walker Avenue, that's the county. But it goes up to that as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we cast our vote for Angie, What are we getting, and what's the difference than anyone else has ever represented District 4?
So, I won't say ever, but I will say something that I want to bring back to the table that I've seen a lack. And this is not to throw shade to anyone. That's my disclaimer. But I want to see more of the community engagement. I want to see more of putting the people over the politics. So we get involved in, well, our politicians, I won't even just say with the fourth, but we get involved with just policy changing and policy talk. But then we're not looking at just the basic needs of, when I knock on doors and I'm canvassing, they just want to see that I'm taking the time to knock on that door and have conversation. They have simple complaints, speed humps, trash, just simple things. But if they're emailing or calling their representative and they're not responding, but they only respond when they want something, we have to build on relationship and community. And I have not been seeing that lately in mine. I've been in my district for 20 years, 15 years as a homeowner, and so I can vouch for saying this from the heart. There was a former councilman, and you all may know him, but the late Councilman Kenneth Harris, he was my councilman. In the fourth, he brought community, he brought togetherness, he brought a lot of things that I hope that I can continue to bring, that I can bring to the table. In fact, I have his mother, Mother Harris. I have her full endorsement, so it means a lot to know that she sees something in me that her son had. And so not just that, when I talk to people, they're basically just saying be in a community, and like I said, it's the basic things. They're not looking at so one thing is food deserts. They want to market. They want to have say. They want to know when we talk about something at City Hall, did you give us information to let us know that this was going to pop up in our community? So not so much to put everything a burden on our representative, but we also want to make sure that everyone's at the table together. Like, we live together, in this community. So I would say that would be something that that I would love to bring to the table.
So what do you think the cause and spike of the violence and the murder rate in District 4?
In District 4, we have had a spike. I would just say a spike altogether in the city. But I would say the resources, and that's all together. I think anything that we say in one district, it can go through with various districts.
Absolutely.
But the lack of resources, if we give people jobs, and let me just say, there are opportunities there, but a lot of times what I tell people, with all the nonprofits and all the resources, how much effort are you actually taking to go to the community and let them know that it's available, and to make sure that they can get to these resources? So we have a lot, and I don't want to take away from the effort that everyone has been taking, but I do want to say we have to do a little more of making sure that people are informed about what's going on and how they can be a part of it. If there's the transportation issue, it could have been something really, great going on over here, but if the person they don't have the money to get to that place, it makes no difference to them. So.
I grew up in the 4th District. Actually,
look at that.
I was pretty much raised on Up North Road, which is right there on the Alameda and Northwood Drive. We used to jump the creek to get to the Alameda Shopping Center. So I've actually, my mom passed in 2013, so I haven't been really staying in that neighborhood since then, but I still have a lot of family and friends in that neighborhood. Now I call them family because these adults actually raised us. Have you seen, because you said you've been, in the neighborhood for about 20 years.
Yep, my first apartment was Lothian Apartments, and then Winston.
Lothian was right up the street from Up North Road. So how much of a change have you seen in there? And I think some people may sit back and say, hey, it was when they started moving in low-income families to these neighborhoods throughout. Tell me when you start to see the change.
I would say, like, even in my community, there are still a lot of retirees that are there. You have those that are either at a certain age and they're moving, just maybe affordability, I don't know. But they're moving on that sense. And then like you stated, there are, I don't want to say Section 8, but you do have you have others coming into the community and they're not homeowners. So that's going down because we had all homeowners and now, a lot of homeowners, and now that goes down. So it also, crime pushes people out. The lack of markets, we have markets at least 3 in the area, and when they're gone, it pushes people out. Yeah. So there are various reasons of why people are leaving, but I would say the number one is just generational changes because more people then were owning their home.
Correct.
Now, there are a lot of renters, a lot of outside investors, and they're just trying to flip a house and rent the house out. There's no investment there.
Right. And again, that pride in that neighborhood is kind of gone. I mean, we had so many things for kids, DeWeese Rec.
Oh, yes.
We had DeWeese baseball.
DeWeese is still there, yeah.
So, when I go past there, I look at, the baseball fields that are not done. The basketball courts are okay. Kids are on there, but I don't know how many kids are actually visiting the Powell Center. Chicopee Middle School has changed.
Yeah, Powell Centers, that's a good one because I think it's only Goodnown in that area, the Northeast. Yeah. So we've lost that too. Again, the resources for our youth, we've lost that.
Yes.
We have to invest that back. You mentioned something. Sorry, I'm like the radio host. But you mentioned something. I want to just say this. You mentioned about when your mother passed, and avoiding the area. Kind of not really been in the area lately. I do want to say that in the area that I grew up in was Park Heights. When I first moved in the area, it was the 4th with my husband. My husband was a victim to violence, and my husband was murdered. And I want to say that it pushed me to stay in the area and to really invest and to continue to be boots on the ground because I was there to know what was needed. And what was lacking in my time was the lack of resources. It was basically you got 3 days off of work and get back to work. And it hasn't changed. We have so much crime going on and we just think that people are going to just be okay with that.
Yeah. I think we've just come to a point where we have been immune to this is what it is and we're going from there. Yes. So before I let you go, because I know it's going to be hard for you, you're definitely campaigning. Tell us, a little bit more about Angie, the 4th District, and again, some of the things that you are campaigning and you're striving for.
Okay. So my name is Angie Winder. I gotta get ready for a commercial. I'm running for the 4th District just to bring some change that we have been lacking. For the areas that I am focused on is stronger communities, quality education, public safety, and economic growth. These are things that are needed all throughout the city. And with my organization, Restoring a Village, I have incorporated a lot of partnerships throughout the city. So I think that it does entail being a village and being involved and connected with everyone. I am running solely just to make a difference. We can worry about all the other stuff later, but if I don't connect with you all and I don't have a relationship, we can't build trust. And we have a trust issue in Baltimore City. A lot of the violence, a lot of the crimes, is a lot of hurt, is a lot of pain, but I see so much hope when I talk to people. And I think that's mostly what people want at this moment. We got a lot of bills and penalties and fines and bills and laws, but where is the love? Where is the hope that we can give to one another? I want to make a difference and to be an example. And so that is why I'm running for the 4th District in so many words. You can definitely get more out of that. I'm on every social media. I have a website, angiewinder.com.
All right, thank you, Ms. Winder. So again, people, a vote for Angie is a vote for Baltimore. So come on out in the primary elections. I believe it's April 2020.
Yes. Don't wait to the general.
You can vote early. I believe early voting is in February.
No.
Is it February?
It's in April too.
Early voting is in April. April 16th to the 23rd. The primary is April 28th. So if you want change in Baltimore, you want something positive, come on out. Let's do everything that we need to do to uplift Baltimore. So Ms. Weiner, thank you again so much for coming on to the show.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back after this short commercial break. Thank you.
Hey, Coach Corey Johnson. Coach Lawrence Smith. Players, your parents to get maximum exposure. When it comes to any of my video footage, only go to one person. Brainstream Media.
Shout out to Brainstream Media. Shout out to Brainstream Media for doing my film.
Brainstream Media.
Shout out to Brainstream Media.
My name is Justin Leach. We're going to Frostburg State University for football. Team Brainstream.
Shout out to Brainstream Media, best film in the state.
DeWitt Doss, Emerson Westside High School, athletic director with Team Brainstream.
Hey, this is head coach Julio, head coach at Forest Park High School. We team Brainstream, man. Thanks a lot, Brainstream.
Shout out to Brainstream Media for giving kids the opportunity to get themselves exposed to college.
Hey, Brainstream Media, man, the best videographer in the area, man. You want sharp, HD quality, good quality, holler at Brainstream Media, baby. They the best. Baltimore City football.
Welcome back. This is one of my favorite beats, Coach said.
Yeah,
this kind of gets me going a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough.
Something good for us to keep us rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Fade it out a little bit, get ready. All right, Baltimore, again, welcome back, man. We're going to talk about this weekend, Coach said.
Yes.
And this segment right here. Great week of football for Baltimore City, and I want to say for the state of Maryland, because everybody pretty much got started this week.
Yes.
But we had a big event over at Poly High School that was sponsored by DTLR and City Council President Brandon Scott and Baltimore City Football Coaches Association, man. I think it was a great day. We had 3 ball games over there. When I say a packed house, it was a packed house.
Yeah.
I don't know how, the crowd was that very first game because it was early, but I can tell you by halfway through that second game, you could see Baltimore City came out. When you got to that third game, it was standing room only.
I bet.
I was there with Miss Tiffany Bird, who at one point just sat back and said, we're not letting anybody else in. We're at capacity.
Right.
So I want to thank Baltimore City for that, man. And guys came out. There really wasn't any incidents. And, we all talk about bringing Baltimore together, and then we get together as a bunch of incidents. Well, Wasn't a whole bunch of incidents in there, which was great.
Good. Well, I've heard about it. I mean, of course, I coach Little League in Harford County. I couldn't make it, but I am the offensive line coach at Patterson High School, so I couldn't make my own game. But I heard it was electric, man. I heard all 3 games were pretty good, and I heard the last game was a barn burner, man. It was a great game.
Yep. And before we get to that, let me tell you the score. Excuse me. Of the first game. The first game was between Lake Clifton, your number 2 team in Baltimore City, against the Carver Bears. Lake Clifton pulled it out. They won 28-18. At one point, they said Carver was up 12-6, and Lake Clifton kind of made a comeback, and then they pretty much took control of the game. They said Michael Gray had a pretty good game. Quarterback, can't think of his name right now, he was 7 for 16, 401 yards, passing and 1 touchdown. So again, as I told everybody earlier, hey, you got to kind of watch out for those Lake Clifton Lakers. They're definitely coming. The second game was City versus Patterson. Patterson took a 6-0 lead all the way to the pretty much beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And they had a little mishap where their starting quarterback wasn't there for them to finish the game, and City ran off 24 straight points against the Clippers. So tell me a little bit about this. I know you heard about that.
Yeah, sometimes you get kids that's just a little undisciplined at times, and it can hurt. But you have to explain to them, the outcomes of the game, because it's peaks and valleys, and you always want to keep a level head. You always want to keep a level head because level heads prevail. So, but yeah, level heads prevail, man. And in that case, it was to no avail because he just really didn't. But they got the momentum, I heard, and saw on film, and they came back and won the game.
Yeah. So right here to my left, I wanted to introduce one of the guests for tonight. His name, senior from Merville High School, Mr. Keelan Kimbrough. How you doing, Keelan?
I'm fine, and you?
I hope he's not shy to be on the mic. We're going to kind of get into this game, the third game of the night, which everybody in Baltimore actually came out to see, and everybody was excited, anticipating everything. Keelan, tell me some of your thoughts, one, about the atmosphere of that night.
I mean, the atmosphere of the game was great. Just, it was a great event for Baltimore. The whole city came out for us. I mean, we all knew what it was. We all knew how it go. When we play Dunbar and we play teams like that, we get good games, good turnout. So, I mean, great atmosphere, a lot of media there. Sports majors, Brainstream, One Motion Sports. I know everybody came out, showed love. So, I mean, just a great environment for Baltimore City.
Yep. So it was one of those atmospheres that you kind of had to be, in that stadium that night. Dunbar was, of course, already there. They're warming up. Crowd is kind of cheering for them. But then you guys got off the bus. You guys walked through the stadium, and it seemed like the crowd just erupted as you guys were actually just walking to the locker room. Your feeling about that?
I mean, I know I feel like a lot of guys on our team, we definitely fan favorites. I know I'm pretty popular myself. I mean, Jared Gaskew, Malik Lindsey here, highly anticipated transfer. He played wide receiver and safety. So I mean, I know a lot of people, they feel highly of us. So I mean, I guess he was excited when we came in.
I mean, Coach said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like they have a lot of fanfare, man. It was a great game from what I heard. Of course, I couldn't make the game, but I heard it was a great game. Tell us some more about the game, man.
About the game itself, I mean, well, last year, for our preparation, the loss we took last year, I mean, we was fighting back in the third quarter, but before the game ended, when we finished the game, probably about 5 weeks later, about 5 weeks later, we just couldn't really recreate the momentum that we was building. So I mean, the loss last year played a huge role in our preparation.
Wow.
In our preparation for this year. So I mean, we knew what we had to do. I think the biggest difference between last year and this year was that we dominated the line of scrimmage. Kennedy Johnson, Kamal Missouri, Justin Mason, Marcus Barry, and Jermaine Gillum, they all dominated the line of scrimmage. That's our entire starting O-line, left to right. So I mean, just we dominated the line of scrimmage. Athletically, I feel like we superior almost every team in the state athletically. So I mean, just controlling the line of scrimmage was the key, and just handle business. I mean, we got great play calling by Coach Sean, and we just executed.
Yeah, kudos to Coach Sean. Actually, I know we supposed to sit down and talk some football, but a lot of guys don't really thank the offensive line. You know, it's a thankless job, and I'm a real big component of the offensive line play. So kudos to you for kind of shouting out your heavies.
Yeah.
You know, because you're gonna need them, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it last week. Coach said when we had Coach Nixon and Coach Smith on, and you hit it right on the head that, hey, whoever can control the line of scrimmage will be the team to win. I know I said, hey, whoever wins that special team battle, and before we kind of get to that battle, you started off the game, you were actually 3 for 3 starting off the game. Second play of the game, you throw a 70-yard touchdown to Malik Lindsey. Great pass on the sideline. Malik makes a terrific catch, not only to make the catch, but he stayed in bounds and takes it to the house. Do you think right then and there that was the momentum, and that was pretty much you guys seized that game just off of that play?
Most definitely. I mean, just it's very. I mean, that play it set the tone, it set the momentum for the game. I mean, just being aggressive. I mean, on film, I knew what I had with the safeties, the corners alignment. So I mean, we already knew what we had. So I mean, just being aggressive, taking a shot. Malik definitely made a great play, a great catch, and I was surprised that he finished it. I mean, he showed me some speed that I don't really see a lot in practice. So I mean, I'm glad he handled it.
So you finished up 7 for 16, 153 yards, 2 throwing touchdowns, and you had a rushing touchdown. You actually rushed 3 times for 17 yards. You know, again, a big game like that, they always say, you know, big-time players got to step up, and I think I saw the senior leadership kind of step up. You guys kind of did not lose your composure. It got kind of tough towards the end. Tell me, let's get a little bit towards the end of the game.
Towards the end, I mean, Coach Sean, Coach Nixon, we decided to simmer down a bit, passing wise, and we just wanted to control the game, eat the clock up. So we ran again. We ran at Kyle Parker and Jared Gasque. Both our running backs, they definitely had great second halves. Kyle, I would guess that Kyle definitely probably went for over 100 yards in the second half. But we just we stopped taking shots and just like the large chunk plays, and we had a few penalties in the second half that was drive killers. So I mean, we just was putting the defense on the field too much. The defense they held firm for most of the third quarter when we was up 20-0, but just a few mishaps on defense, and Dunbar got back into the game. But Kylie Shakespeare, sophomore, in the last play of the game, he caught an interception, took it back about 20 yards and finished it. So I mean, that was a great stand by the defense. And it just shows our grit.
And I'm going to tell you, being up 20-0, you know, what I saw as a reporter, as a observer of the game, it seemed like that second half you guys kind of coasted. Like, okay, you know what, we're up 20-0. And at that time, Dunbar was really not doing anything offensively. So y'all had total control. But, like you said, a couple of mishaps, slowly they get back into the game. And we get down to the fourth quarter, and this is where we talk about special teams. Merville has the ball. Dunbar has all 3 timeouts with a minute, I believe, 36 seconds left to play. Here it is. It's 4th and 10. Now we got a punt. as my coach's instinct kind of kicked in as I'm watching the game. My first thing was protect inside, protect inside, protect inside. And Xavier Cole,
punter,
he pulled off a 40-plus yard punt where, pretty much Dunbar could not get a return. And, now they got to travel the length of the field.
Right.
This was late in the game?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, 36 seconds left in the game.
To add on, our long snap and out there, Daquan Harris, he made a great play after the snap. He hustled down, and he made the tackle on that play.
It was key, which made Dunbar have to travel, I believe, 65, 70 yards.
Well, you got to kind of take your hat off to Dunbar now, because being down 20-0, you can be whistling in the graveyard, as George Foreman used to say, or you can become coach or counselor. So you got to either start coaching them up or start counseling you guys for next week. But
yes,
Dunbar, try to make a valiant comeback, but to no avail, because you guys stepped it up at the end defensively.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, number one, Mr. Cruz, he, his will definitely kept them in the game. I mean, Dunbar literally sat back that fourth quarter and said, hey, we're going to put the ball in your hands. And he almost willed the comeback. For everybody that was not there, Dunbar had the ball first and goal to go, I believe, at the 12-yard line, 12, 13-yard line. And with 9 seconds left to play, everybody in the stadium is standing up. And they had got there off a long pass.
Right.
And it was like, okay, can these DBs hold them? You could kind of see the little pick routes that Dunbar threw. Quarterback made a bad read and threw the interception, which actually sealed the game, the last play of the game. I was on my Facebook Live saying, tremendous game. That's what, Baltimore City come out to, see. Two great teams. But with your effort, in that game, one of the biggest games of the week, Changing Baltimore is going to present you with the first Week 1 Changing Baltimore Player of the Week, Keelan Kimbrough. And a lot of people might say, we knew he was going to get it because he's from Maryville. Well, Bruce Cunningham came to Maryville yesterday from Fox 45 and presented Keelan with the Prep Player Profile of the Week. So I was like, okay. Well, Bruce Cunningham seen the same thing Changing Baltimore did. So in back-to-back days, he's getting Player of the Week. That's, again, a tribute to your hard work and everything that you've done, not just for this year, not just last year, but for all 4 years that you've been at Maryville.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm definitely grateful to have this, grateful to receive Prep Player of the Week yesterday. Just being at Maryville for 4 years, Coach Ray, you was my coach my freshman year. I wanted to play quarterback at the playing rec. My 8th grade year I started playing, my 7th grade year I started playing quarterback. Played quarterback my final 2 years of rec. Came up Maryville, things didn't go my way. I don't think the starter, he was better than me, but the coaches saw something that I didn't, so I just stayed down. I stayed down, worked hard, got the opportunity to play varsity as a 10th grader. I sat behind a great quarterback in Carlos Davis. I really feel like that year on varsity as my sophomore year, just my knowledge of the playbook grew, and it really prepared me for my big junior season. But just the opportunity to play varsity so early, that I really feel like that was the key. And just Coach Nixon trusted me, giving me the opportunity my junior year. I just took it and ran with it. All I needed was an opportunity.
Yeah. So again, we also, and he wasn't able to make it tonight. We're going to try to have him on next week. But I also want to show our Coach of the Week, Coach Michael Hamilton from Baltimore City College, with their upset victory over the 5th-seeded Patterson Clippers. Again, a lot of people from Baltimore City kind of counted City out this week, and for the season, they went 3-7 last year. They're going to be a team that's going to be reckoned with through this season. So, Coach Michael Hamilton, congratulations for being changed in Baltimore Coach of the Week for Week 1. Last thing for Mr. Kimbrough before we, end our show. A lot of people are doubting Mervo. I was reading actually on the sports forum last night that, they said, hey, Mervo beat a weak Dunbar team, the weakest team that they've had in years. But Mervo has not shown it in the state playoffs to really call themselves a good program. Let me give you your thoughts on that.
I mean, last year, I feel like our run. I mean, I feel like our run last year in the playoffs, something that never been done at Mervo. I believe we was the first school to win a regional championship in the M4A. We won a 4A state championship. We beat Paint Branch. We beat a Howard team that was they was the reigning 4A North champs for about the last 4 years. So people. I mean, everybody entitled to their own opinion, but I mean, we just got to work on getting better, preparing for state playoffs, taking it 1 week at a time, one rep at a time. Everybody do their business, handle their job. We're gonna be fine.
I don't know if nobody was sleeping on Mervo now, Coach. I mean, they I know ever since I left Poly in 2012, and when Coach Nixon became the AD/head coach there, things started to change, baby. I mean, they started to change, and they was knocking on the door, but they was tough prior to then. They always been tough. So I don't know if they was kind of creeping through the back door now. They was knocking on the front door.
Yeah, they've been knocking, but I'm gonna show you the message board that pretty much says that, hey, the Mustangs really still haven't achieved anything. And I think, and like you said, Coach, you're a coach in Baltimore City. You really know Baltimore City football. You're really sitting back and watching. Mm-hmm. You're a fan. You're an advocate. Bottom line is you will see some of these teams that are coming up. Yes. It's kind of hard when certain teams are not on top. Yes. And other teams, when everybody's going to have their ups and their downs. Baltimore City football, to me, is on the uprise.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you can count Edmondson, you can count Patterson, City, Mervo, Dunbar. Don't forget about Reginald F. Lewis. Carver team has shown, their grit. So overall, I think we are coming as a program in Baltimore City and all.
And I want to give a major shout out to Coach James Money Monroe at Lake Clifton, good friend of mine and mentor. A great win because that's an up and coming Carver program, Oh,
yeah. Yep. So Baltimore, man, we love you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming out, representing, supporting us. Remember, man, in order for us to make change, we have to support. We have to stand up for something. When we talk about our politicians in Baltimore, if you're not happy, you have to vote. You have to come out. You have to find out what platform that your candidate is working on. Again, I got a phone call that says change is coming. Change is coming to Baltimore. So again, Baltimore, thank you. This is your host, Harry Gray.
And your co-host, Coach Cedric Barry.
And we see you guys next week.
Changing Baltimore.
to take unlimited pictures and not worry about having to clear space on my phone or, memory card or storage or anything, and just snap away, be snap happy.